How Seabright ignored labor fraud while elevating our home. Another major failure on the part of Seabright in the management of our, or should I say mismanagement, of our HMGP grant was their willful and arrogant failure to enforce compliance with the New Jersey Prevailing Wage Act while supposedly providing management and oversight of the contractor they hired to work at our home. The New Jersey Prevailing Wage Act predates the federal Davis-Bacon Act of 1931 by 28 years. One would think that after 100 years, Seabright would be adept at following one of the basic tenets of New Jersey labor law. But no, not here in Seabright, where they choose to turn a blind eye to any law or legislation that doesn't suit their immediate needs. A behavior very typical of small people running small governments is the lack of understanding of the larger picture of what some legislation provides for them and their protection of them and their constituents. The New Jersey Prevailing Wage Act has its obvious benefits and then some serendipitous ones too. While it obviously provides a fairer wage for those working on taxpayer-funded projects, it also levels the playing field of those bidding on the same, while to some degree limiting the opportunity for cronyism in government-led projects. By establishing apprentice and journeyman pay scales, the Act fosters an environment of perpetual learning in the trades. Though often maligned as an expensive burden to government contracting, prevailing wage provides something that governments typically fail at, and that's maintaining a forward-thinking, quality workforce. In essence, limiting the potential for stupidity in government-led projects. So one would think you could breathe a sigh of relief knowing that most state contracts are executed by a prevailing wage workforce. But not so fast. Some public work contractors put quite a bit of gamesmanship into their bidding on public work contracts. Some use outright fraud and just manipulate their certified payrolls. Others are a little more coy and massage the reporting of actual time spent on a job. Then there's the use of subs who are not state certified and therefore avoid inspection, or use one-man subcontractors who are not subject to the prevailing wage law, because as an owner, they do not have to pay themselves prevailing wage rates or give benefits. So how does all this relate to Seabright's elevation project at 8 Center Street? In short, the borough allowed prevailing wage fraud to be carried out under their noses, even after we had notified them of the builder's abuse of the law. The builders used subs who were not registered to perform state contract work. Other subs he used, when we questioned their workers, said they were not being paid prevailing wage rates. But the most egregious and ludicrous was that of his execution of the State of New Jersey's Form AA-201. On this form, the employer reports the number of workers from each trade, their anticipated start and finish dates, and the amount of hours they will work over the course of the project. So let's take a look at the report that was submitted to Seabright and then posted in our home in a place where no worker on the job site could ever find it. Here it is, posted inside our front door. Keep in mind that the house was being elevated, so no worker could see this form or easily find it on display. Maybe that's why they were leaving the ladder out every night, so the workers could climb in and find out if they were being cheated or not. Here the contractor represents the use of the following tradesmen. Masons. 2 masons for 4 days. That looks like a few more than 2 masons, and those guys were here for weeks. Carpenters. 2 carpenters for 1 day. Oh no, déjà vu. Doesn't look like 2 carpenters to me. I see at least 4 guys in this picture, and once again, they were here for weeks. Electricians. 1 electrician for 1 day. An HVAC mechanic for 1 day. A painter for 1 day. A plumber for 2 days. A roofer for 1 day. And a laborer for 3 days. So the contractor is representing that he will use 144 hours of labor with 12 total days on site over the course of 1 month. Interestingly enough, he's lifting a house, but there's no indication of labor for house lifting or any of the other various trades that were here and not reported. Oh, and it's kind of worth noting that the plumber and the HVAC mechanic are both putting in full days on New Year's Eve. Doesn't seem too right to me. Now, I know all my fellow Seabrighters will agree that there's no way you could elevate your home with 144 hours of labor, let alone do it over the course of a month, start to finish, permits approved. Oh my, this had to be the most lucrative contract this firm was ever awarded. I wonder why they were complaining that there wasn't enough money. Using these figures for labor, adding in materials, it's a profit of 335%. I would love to be able to see the certified payrolls that were submitted to the borough regarding this project, but we were never able to see them, even after multiple Oprah requests to the borough. Makes you wonder, maybe the borough wasn't so stupid after all, at least when it comes to hiding their misdoings. In summary, I have to say, I just can't believe this.